Hey, welcome to the show, Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. This is Coach James Short, aka Shorty. And this is a show for those within the real estate industry wanting to lead and grow their real estate business. It's a series of interviews that we conduct for those within the industry. So we're finding out what those leaders are within the industry, what makes them tick, what's their story, what are their strategies, and how to become the leaders and the growers within the industry. But also it's an interview series with those outside of the industry. I'm always a big believer of looking at a whole different part of the pie rather than just focusing on one part of the pie. Because what it does, it allows you to have a different perspective, allows you to get snippets or golden nuggets from those outside of the industry that can look into the industry and go, there's a different perspective. And so I encourage you to reach out to the guests. I encourage you to lean into these series to find out how can these pieces of information, experiences, stories help you lead and grow your real estate business. And before we get underway with our latest episode, just a little shout out to these amazing crew at Magic Mind. Magic Mind has been it's a productivity hit in the bottle. I've been using these supplementations now for a number of weeks, and the clarity, the focus, and the performance that I've been getting from these nutrients in a bottle. They've got amazing vitamins, amazing minerals. They've got a bunch of mushrooms in there as well. It's a great productivity hack that I've been using every single day. So if you want to try it out, head on over to www.magicmind.com/James Short, and you'll be able to get amazing discounts when you subscribe and when you try the product. And at the checkout, simply add in James Short 20 to get your discount. So head on over, Magic Mind, productivity in a bottle. Oh, I love it. Now, on with the show. Here we are, another edition of Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. Kon Stathopoulos.
Yes.
From McGrath.
Hello.
The mover and the shaker.
The mover and the shaker.
Mate, what a privilege to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Watching your journey, hearing you on presenting and podcasts and shows.
Yes.
Like, you've ticked a huge number of boxes. The growth is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Your leadership, I love your style, your energy, enthusiasm. You just ooze it.
Thank you.
Growing up, where was that point where you go, right, leadership, growth, sales, where was that pivotal point for you growing up?
Mate, I don't think it was one moment. I think it was a collation of micro moments.
Yep.
So probably started. I didn't really apply myself in high school. I was more interested in playing basketball. And hanging out with my mates that were older than me and getting into nightclubs that I probably shouldn't have got into nightclubs. And I got into uni. I did reasonably okay, but I wasn't a student that actually really focused on their schoolwork. So I got into a course I probably wasn't that happy with, which was Bachelor of Computer Science at Monash in Melbourne.
Yep.
And it sucked. I hated it. It was the worst thing I ever did. And
right.
A friend of mine was working at a service station from 11 p.m. till 7 a.m, the graveyard shift. And this mate of mine goes to me, mate, my cousin's doing this thing called telemarketing.
Yep.
I said, what's that? He goes, you just call people and they pay you. And so okay. Little did I know that you just needed a pulse and a voice. But I said, well, can you point me in the right direction? And he did. And I went and had an interview. And the guy goes, I'm going to pay you $12 an hour.
Right.
I was like, okay, I'm getting 10 now. So
sweet.
This is 20%. This is really awesome, right?
I love it.
And he goes, and every time, you work 3-hour shifts, and every time you sell something, I'm going to pay you $20. I said, total? He goes, no, on top. I said, all right.
Done the maths.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm a slow learner, but I go, so if I do 3 hours, you're going to pay me $36. And if I do 1, you'll pay me, he goes, 56. So what if I did 2? He goes, 76. I said 3, he goes, mate, it's just $20, as many as you can do. I said, when do I start? He goes, why don't we put you on a trial right now? I said, you're going to pay me? He said, yeah. I did 14 in my first 3 hours.
No.
So $280 plus the 36. And I went, I'm literally, the movie Wolf of Wall Street, that's it. I will literally quit my job. So that was my first entry into sales.
Yep.
And that kind of taught me the ability to be able to call people, so getting rid of call reluctance, following a process, just understanding, how to handle objections and conflict, building resilience. Because I went into that with no preconceived ideas. I had no idea. I was never a salesperson. And I don't consider myself a salesperson. I consider myself someone that can transfer value, and hopefully that's good enough, and then that results in a sale. And then it evolved. And then I got into, so my background is non-real estate. And then I got into leading people, and I got more of a buzz out of seeing people grow than getting a deal done. Now, I love getting a deal done. I love getting a listing. I love getting a sale over the line, or being at an auction and helping both sides and the agent. But my greatest sale is the ability to be able to see someone go from where they are to where they can be. And it's kind of unlocking that brilliance in them.
Yeah, fantastic. Just a couple of things on that is that ability to create value where you're the definition of not seeing yourself as a salesperson, because that can conjure up certain beliefs and thoughts and thinking around sales compared to creating value.
Well, I never thought sales was a dirty word. I still don't. I think everyone is in sales. Literally the entire plan. That's what I teach my kids. You're in sales, you just don't know it. You're an accountant, you're in sales. You're a lawyer. A friend of mine...
Your family, you're in sales.
Absolutely, right? You're in religion, you're in sales. But a friend of mine is a very, very senior executive at one of the big consulting firms. He's in risk and audit. And I'm like, oh, mate, it's so boring. He goes, mate, I'm in sales. Like my job is to go and get the business. So I never saw it as a dirty word. I just feel that what helped me as a sales rep and what's helped me in real estate is the more value I give, the more I get, as opposed to trying to convince something to list with me or to come and work with us or to buy something. I think people are more sophisticated, and I think that selling is a really important part of someone's ability to be able to communicate effectively and clearly, and to be able to handle objections whilst at the same time getting a win for them, a win for me, and a win for the business. Those three wins, that's a great deal.
Love it. And I think looking at that, and I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, is that understanding of people and wanting them to succeed has resulted in just the growth of your business and taking them on that journey. Hey guys, just a little side note here. How's it going? Are you on track this year? I know that sometimes this part of the year we can feel like we're in a bit of a grind, a bit of in the trenches. Are you on track from the original plans that you set out for the rest of this year? What I've realized is that with this time of year, we get so distracted and we've got trying to chase so many shiny balls and go down so many rabbit holes. And that's why I created a program called the 90. It's a framework that actually allows you to achieve more in 90 days than ever before. Some of the feedback that we've got from some of the people that have used the process, the 90, is that they've achieved more in 90 days than the whole previous year. So if you'd like to have the tools, have the techniques, have the framework on the 90, so you and your team can achieve more in 90 days than ever before. What it does, it impacts you of how to get clear, what you need to do, and who you need to be to show up in order to achieve the things you want to achieve over the next 90 days. Simply head over to jamesshort.com.au, click on join the waitlist, fill in your details, and one of the team members will be in touch and take you through the 90 framework. On with the show.
Yes.
So unpack that with me around that transitioning of wanting to see people to succeed.
Yes.
And bring people on that journey. How have you transitioned from that over the last, say, 10, 20 years? What have you noticed is different for you?
I think as my career has evolved, my needs at a human level and a personal level, at an ego level have evolved. So if I look at my 20s, it was all about the accumulation of knowledge to earn money. Very primal, very basic. If I look at my 30s, it was about how do I further drive and develop my career to be able to earn more money that hopefully starts leading into wealth. And now in my 40s, it's all about, hey, money's important, can be up there with breathing, but it's more about I don't know who said it, someone said it, much more intelligent than me. The better the people that I have in our business, the better trained, the better quality, the better that they're going to treat the customer. And if we get that right, then we're going to have a great business. So our philosophy in this business is very, very simple. Traditional real estate businesses have a hierarchy.
Yep.
Principal sits at the top and everything feeds down.
Yep.
In this business, me and my leadership team sit at the bottom and we feed up. So it's called a servant model.
Great.
So my customer is the agent sitting out there, the property manager, the front office manager. They are my customers, and the client is the buyer, seller, landlord, and tenant.
Love it.
So my role is to be able to make sure that we help people on their journey.
Yep.
So we've got, if we use our sales business, we've got 90 odd in our sales team, sales agents and associates and projects. Our youngest agent just turned 18,
Fantastic.
and our eldest agent 74.
Fantastic.
And we have everyone in between.
Yep.
And I remember those books, Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their own adventure.
Yeah.
So our job as leaders in this business is to unlock their potential, help them unlock their potential.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You want to be $1 million rider? Great. You want to be a $100,000 rider? It doesn't bother us.
Yeah.
What we're more interested in is the quality of the human. If they're great people, they're going to make even better real estate professionals.
That's awesome. Where was that thinking from you came from of that different model?
Really simple. It's been instilled with me. So in Greek, we have a word called philotimo, which I don't think exists in any other language. Basically, it's a sense of, if you come to me, you come to my house, you will eat, you will drink, you'll have everything that I have is yours. If you say to me, I'm cold, I'll give you my jumper, right? So I think, the way that we were raised was, you eat last. Your guests always eat first. Let them have the best of everything, because there's always going to be more, right? B, I think it's just my personal style is I like to have as many people surrounded by me, because I just like we're at the Blacktown office, right?
Yeah.
So this is a tribe.
Yes.
Its village is Parramatta and Blacktown, and its family is our group.
Yeah.
So village, family, tribe, right? And I think I think for us it's always the more people that we help, the more people they'll help, the more help we'll get.
The rippling effect.
That's exactly right. So the third part of that is there's a major gap in leadership in real estate. I think it's the biggest opportunity and the biggest gap in real estate. The industry really, have a look, how many podcasts and websites and seminars, it's all about how to prospect, list or sell, or how to manage a property.
Yep.
There's no one there telling you how to lead people.
Or manage yourself.
Correct. So I've kind of fell into that slipstream. I've never listed or sold a property.
Yep.
I do that every day, but I've never done that to drive my own income.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably been the biggest difference is I don't need to create a brand, a personal brand, or wealth through that.
Yes.
I would rather help people on their journey, and the more people I help, the more help I'm going to get.
100%. And I guess looking at that model, if you were to give advice to someone, because what I'm hearing is a lot of it's an abundance mentality.
Absolutely.
Where a lot of other business owners might come from a scarcity mentality, and it's like mine. What would you say, or what would you recommend to someone who wanting to shift from that scarcity mentality to more coming from an abundance mentality? What would you suggest that someone could do?
I think it's a hard one, mate, to answer, because it depends on that person's core beliefs and drivers. The first part, I think you have to do something that feeds your soul.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you aren't authentic to yourself, it's really hard. It's really hard to act energetic and enthusiastic about someone else if you don't care about them. Right? I'm not saying people don't care about them, but I think you got to be true to your authentic self. I think you've got to get to a point where you can earn what you need to earn, whatever is enough for anyone, and also get the joy out of seeing other people grow. Yeah. And I think once you unlock that first bit, like the joy of unlocking someone's growth, I think the rest of it's really easy. Because once you see, we're sitting behind Monique Lee, who's one of the most exciting real estate talents I've seen in the last decade. Yeah. And she's 21, 22, and she's doubled her business in the last 12 months, and she'll double it again. She's on a pathway to becoming a partner in our business. Yeah. For me, that I just love love watching her grow and love where she's going to go, right? And whatever that journey is, we want to be a part of it. So
true.
Yeah, I think you have to be authentic, and you have to make a decision to decide that this is what you want to do.
Yeah, I love that. Leadership into the future.
Yes.
Where do you see it going?
I think if you go back to the Stoics, it's the principles are exactly what they are today.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to see an evolution per se, but I think in real estate there has to be. We're the second most trusted, least trusted, I should say, industry in Australia.
Yep.
We probably employ, I think, 40,000 agents across the country. That's just agents. I'd hazard a guess, there's probably another 40,000 property managers.
Yep.
And then you look at projects and commercial, it's an industry of maybe 250,000 people. It requires a heavy duty commitment to making people better than what they are.
Yep.
Right? So we have a saying in our business, are you good enough to be better?
Nice.
Right? Now, I didn't come up with it. I wish I did because it's great. But just think about it. Like, I'm good. Well, am I good enough to be better?
Yep.
And how can I nail the basics of what I need to do every day? Because if you nail the basics, you actually win in this industry. Because people don't do the basics.
Totally.
They don't call clients back, right? And increase your standards at every opportunity that you've got to interact with someone.
Yep.
You win.
Yep.
So I don't think there's going to be a big material change. I just think there's going to be more leaders evolving and trying to make this a more professional, more robust, probably give people more longevity in the industry.
Yeah, I love that. And I think what you're creating here and within the group, that's feeding that cycle.
Yeah.
Right? Because leaders build leaders.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they build more tribes and they build more families. And looking at that, what I picked up was two major things is obviously it's still going to be process driven.
Absolutely.
But teachable or coachable.
Yes.
And so that willing to learn, that willing to grow, it's that having that growth mindset of like, how can I be better?
Mate, we're a learn-it-all culture, not a know-it-all culture.
100%.
Right? And I think, the second you stop learning is the second you stop growing. We've had some great success over the last couple of years. I think it's kind of interesting. I think it's good. I think we've had lots of awards and we've had lots of acknowledgement. And, we can give ourselves a bit of a pat on the back and the ego gets stroked. But the reality is we're nowhere near where we can, could, and will be.
Yeah, nice.
And so the only way we're going to be able to actually unlock what our potential is if we keep learning and we keep growing and we keep making mistakes and learning from them and enjoying the business of real estate.
Yeah, nice.
And it's a simple business, but it's not easy, right?
Yep.
But it really changes people's lives if they get it right.
Yeah.
And I just look at this and, we've got like 25, 19 to 25-year-olds in our business.
So good.
I just look back and I wish I was in an environment like this when I was 19 to 25 because, not just because it's our business, we're not that great, we're good, but the opportunity to grow and be surrounded by some of the best people and agents, that's how you grow.
So true. Where's the will? Where's the will be? Where's that future? Where's that direction heading?
I think it's really testing how good we can actually be. We've got some very big goals and aspirations as to where we want the business to be in terms of market share, gross volume, commissions, properties under management. We've 30x the business in 4 years.
Amazing.
Will we do that in 4 years? I hope so. If John's listening, he'll be like, mate, you're selling yourself short. But I think for us, it's really simple. The genius is in the simplicity.
Yeah.
Keep it really basic.
Yeah.
Really work on our skills. Really work on how we get better at every opportunity. Like our open homes are pretty good.
Yeah.
But how can they be great?
Yeah.
Our conversion's pretty good, but how can it be better?
Yeah.
Our coaching's pretty good, but what would unlock someone's brilliance quicker?
Yeah.
So I think it's actually really, I think we've got the engine now. I think really now it's about how do we make the boat go faster.
Yeah, nice.
That would be the first part. Second part would be probably expanding into new areas, geographical areas. The third part would be into new markets.
Yep.
Like projects is one of those.
Yep.
There's lots of other opportunities in different markets that we don't have any exposure to. And I think the fourth one for us is keeping it creative. Like we've built great initiatives. Super Saturday is probably the one that we hang our hat on. It's Australia's Australia's biggest, largest on-site auction event. We had 130 auctions on one day. So how do we keep that creativity? So we're not just, let's wheel out Super Saturday. It's important. It's great for our community, great for our agents, great for the business. So we tick those 3 wins. How do we keep it creative and fresh?
Yeah. A couple of things I picked up there is the what else mentality.
Yeah.
There's you got Super Saturday, but what else?
Yeah, correct.
What else? The 1%ers.
Absolutely.
Always focus on how can we improve, how can we, and I guess the third thing is looking at how do we continually to develop ourselves in our team.
We're going to evolve.
Good to great.
You've got to evolve.
Yeah.
Right, and I think the evolution of real estate, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think we see it you've got AI, right?
Yep.
So AI, that if you're not in the AI space in real estate within the next 18 months, I think you're probably going to have a few issues.
Yep.
You've got portals, you've got compliance and friction from government bodies.
Yep.
You've got depending on your market, lower stock volumes, commission compression, higher costs. Agents want a bigger split. So this is where the leadership part comes in. So how do you lead business and people through shifting and changing dynamics?
Yeah.
You have to be creative. You have to think about what's going to help. I'm looking at Trent now. What's going to help him be better at what he's doing, so then he can have a better life.
Yeah,
and I think it's a commitment to excellence at every opportunity. And it's what is possible? Did we think we'd do 130 auctions in one day? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But now we know we've done that.
Yep.
What's next? Yeah.
On the show, we have our 60-second quick quiz to find out more about the guest.
Yes.
Willing to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Favourite food?
Ooh. Oh my God, Japanese probably.
Well, favourite movie?
Stand By Me.
Favourite holiday destination?
Vietnam.
What's your morning routine?
4:40, wake up, gym, breakfast, walk the puppy, and shower, work.
Fantastic. Do you have an evening routine?
Sauna sometimes, chill out, dinner, sleep, 8:30 bed.
Nice. What's the most embarrassing moment?
Ooh, jeez. Probably bending over in a meeting and farting.
Love it.
Yeah.
And if you could choose 5 inspirational people to have dinner with, they could be dead or alive, who would they be?
Great question. 5 inspirational people, dead or alive. It would be Michael Jordan. It would be probably Barack Obama. It would probably be, dead or alive. Jesus, like a million of them coming through my mind. I think John Howard, I think he was absolutely fantastic. I'm not political, but I just think people that can lead nations through change, and what he did with gun reforms in this country has saved hundreds of lives.
Yep.
Probably the Dalai Lama for some enlightenment.
Yep.
And I'd probably say probably Jeff Buckley for some entertainment.
Love it, fantastic. If you're a Prime Minister for the day, what's one thing that you'll change?
I'd probably just get rid of the politics and start talking some truths. Let's worry less about the opinion polls and who's tracking ahead. Let's just actually get what needs to get done. I think domestic violence in this country is, and that's been well documented. I'd probably just go, hey, let's have some real conversations and let's get some shit done.
Fantastic. Best piece of advice?
Smooth seas never made good sailors.
Oof, love it. How could people reach out to you or follow your journey?
LinkedIn, Kon_McGrath, Instagram, give me a buzz, email me, whatever.
Fantastic. Con, thanks for being on the show.
Champion. Thanks. Cheers.